my very famous art vlog. Take a look at this shiny, sparkly, gorgeous original artwork that I made with my own 2 hands. It looks great under the lights, don't you think? I've been working on a bunch of original artwork just like this one in my humble home studio, and I want to show them to you. Ooh, nice. I've got 4 new paintings that are all ready for my website, but I like to show them to my art pals first so that they can have first dibs. If you're the kind of gal that likes to be first in line, then you'll want to sign up to be one of my art pals, so you can check out more about that on my website. Ooh, many of them are inspired by my friends in the Edmonton burlesque scene. I love hosting shows with them, and I love their glamorous costumes. Look at this one, inspired by Violette Coquette. Ooh la la. I also got busy with my monthly art giveaway. Hi, my name's Tiff Hall, and I'm a very famous artist. I want to give you this painting. Make sure you sign up to be my art pal if you want to win that one. I give away an original piece every dang month. Sometimes I make art outside of my humble home studio, and that's why I have this adorable tiny sketchbook. I carry it around in my backpack so that I can sketch all the local pubs and breweries that I hang out at. I love me a local beer, and I love to write a little haiku about it too. Check it out. Look at these ones. Poetry. It's deep shit, man. Deep shit. Oh, check out some other little things that I like to draw. Oh, don't look at that one. Oh, no, don't look at that one either. That one's dinner time. Beautiful. Here's a local pub that you might recognize. They're going to showcase my art in the summer. Hi, everybody. I'm Tiff Hall, and I'm a very famous artist. Welcome to my humble home studio. Let me show you what I've been working on. I've got 4 original pieces to show you for this vlog. This one's called The Allure of Crystals, and it is one of my favorites because of the special jewelry that I used. This one came from a ring, but these ones, they came off of a fancy sock that I bought. Well, I mean, I bought a pair of socks. And they had these little fancy little jewels on them. And I was like, yeah, right, squirrel friend, that's gonna come off immediately. And it did, in the wash. So I went in there and I got them out and I collected them. And I used them in this piece. Just on one sock. The other sock is actually okay. And I totally still wear them just like that. And one day, their little jewels will fall off, and I will use them to make beautiful art. This was painted with the Holly Von Sin collection. You can see the familiar cream and lilac color going on there, the splash of red that comes from their hair. But once it gets paired with the frame, it goes in a whole different direction, right? You can kind of see a few of the other Holly Von Sins. There's one. There's one. There's another one. All different. You know, I think mostly because the frames are all very different, and that influences what direction I go with the jewelry. Love this one. The Allure of Crystals. Little 5x7. So small. Very accessible and unintimidating way to start your art collection. So that's one that I want to show you. I'm going to slip it behind me there. This one's a little bigger. It's 8x10. Just picking a little piece of tape off the back there. You don't need to know about that, but I told you anyway. This one was very fun. Look at this. A bracelet. It's not even broken. I just liked it and I put it in there. Broken bobby pin. Little ring that broke. The little jewel thing came out of it. This was painted with the Violette Coquette that I did. You can see it over there. her burlesque costumes. But once I paired it with this frame, it didn't make me think Violette Coquette anymore. It kind of goes on its own little art adventure, right? So then I kind of... Actually, you know what? I want to start at the very beginning with this one. Can you see this splash of green here? When I first painted it, and there was no frame and there was no jewelry yet, it looked like a big banana leaf. But like a banana leaf that somebody was using for fancy fine dining plating. If you watched my last video, I mentioned plating in that one as well. I think there's a theme to my inspiration here. But that's what my imagination saw. I saw this as the fancy plate, and maybe this was the table, and then this was the background, I don't know. And then I started by kind of piling up some of the jewelry here. You can see this one was from a necklace, I believe. It is a really big little piece, but it fell right out. I have no idea anymore what it looked like. But once I kind of started piling it on the plate, like the food, then it started taking on a whole different direction, and I don't see food anymore. Now, I kind of see like, I don't know, space, and it makes me think of galaxies and shooting stars, like something's moving this way is what I see. I see movement, and I think this ring around this maybe makes me think of planets, but I'm not sure, because I've also one day was looking at it and thought maybe this was like an egg, and these were the sperm, and this is life growing in it, right? I was like, oh my God, is my art life? So I don't know, what do you see? Because that's what's most important. Check out this cute little frame though, right? The cream and the details. Yeah, it's very nice. So I've been calling this one the glamour in chaos, because I see that space thing, right? So, you know, space was made out of jewelry. But I love this one. A little bit bigger, 8 by 10, but it gets even bigger, okay? This next one is a 10 by 10. Oh! Oh, I've been waiting on this one for a long time because I like it probably the most. It is one of the first pieces that I ever did where I played with the jewelry. You can see this kind of thing running through here. Some cheap little bead things, but I cut them. That's why it ends there. And then I kind of spread it out on this square frame. Square canvas. I don't usually do square, but I was doing squares when I was painting landscapes, so I think the canvas is left over from that, but I was bored by then of painting landscapes. I knew that I was like, it's not shiny enough. So I had moved on. Whoa, sorry, I'm kicking you over here. But I had started feeling the tickle of moving on. I played with a lot more different colors, and I definitely started falling in love, and didn't even know what the term was for what I was doing. I didn't know that maybe this was a mosaic, right? That this was even called abstract. I was just like, where can this shiny piece go on this painting? So move back and kind of get a little better idea. Sorry to get out of the light there. Completely different frame than what I usually do, right? It's a wooden floating frame that I painted gold in this like shiny metallic paint that I don't have anymore. But you can see it on the canvas, on the painting part too. You can see the gold in there. Definitely like this one. And it's called I Call Her the Pearl. I love naming the paintings. It's nonsense. I get to be silly. I like this one a lot, so I'm glad I got to show you that one finally. It will be available on the website. Whoa! Knocking all kinds of stuff over there. But I've got one more that I'd like to show you, okay? Oh, I really like this one. Completely different than what I usually do as well. Usually I do them, upwards like that, but this one came with like the back already done, so I wanted to kind of challenge myself to make sure that I could do that, but also utilize work that was already done. I don't know if you can read it, but it's named A Map to Glamour. This one is 8 by 10. So it is taken up, I can compare it to my head. It's taken up a little bit more room. What I really like about this one is when you get up close to it. I love the little square rhinestones that I used. And then in the middle part where it's like the square rhinestones and the circle pearls, the shape of those together, I stare at this one a lot. I'm so fascinated by all the different shapes. And they just kind of go against each other, with each other. It's so shiny. But I think this part over here, I find myself drawn to that quite a bit. Just looking at it like, what is going on? It's so different from these ones over here. Like, it's just texture, more texture, shiny gold. Where do you look next? Splash of color, wow! Also, it's a lot darker than I usually go, which I think makes it look deep, dark, mysterious. Mysterious! Ooh, look, there's a little ring. That was a broken ring in there. Yeah. The frame. Big and dramatic, right? That big shiny silver. This one looks great up on the wall. Like I said, I kind of stare at this one quite a bit. I find it really interesting to look at. I don't really see anything necessarily. I just find it fascinating and just keep looking at it. So, A Map to Glamour. As you can tell, if you've been following along with my art vlogs, that it's getting a little bit bigger. Some of the stuff is getting bigger. So if you want small stuff, it's there, but I'm moving on to bigger things. 8 by 10 seems to be a nice size to paint, but I've got some really big ones. I'm a little bit, nervous, but I've got some that are just a little bit bigger than these ones, so I can kind of gradually make my way up in steps. But I plan on painting some really big stuff, and I can't wait to show you. So keep following along. If you want to check out some original artwork, please go to my website, tiffhallfineart.com. And thanks for, just looking at art with me. It's better than paying taxes and working and stuff. So I'm glad that we got to do this together. I hope you have a good rest of your day. And thanks for supporting local art.